The Zalthor delegation had made their first mistake when they landed on Earth. Their second was assuming humanity would negotiate from fear. Commander Zexikal stood in the center of the diplomatic chamber, his crystalline exoskeleton refracting the harsh fluorescent lights. His species had conquered 47 worlds through calculated intimidation. Earth would be the 48th. Your military capabilities are quaint, Zexikal announced, his translator rendering his clicks and whistles into cold English. Surrender your planet's resources or we demonstrate why resistance is futile. Max Harrison, Earth's lead negotiator, sat perfectly still. The former Marine had seen combat on 3 continents, but nothing had prepared him for this. Beside him, Dr. Lisa Chen, xenobiologist and the only human who'd studied the Zalthor language independently, scribbled notes furiously. We need time to consider, Max said evenly. Zexikal's antenna twitched with amusement. You have 1 solar rotation. Then we begin harvesting. The aliens filed out, their movements precise and mechanical. Once the chamber sealed, Lisa turned to Max, her dark eyes blazing. They're lying, she said. I caught fragments of their actual communication beneath the translator. They're not scouts, they're an advanced extermination unit. Max's jaw tightened. How long do we actually have? Hours, maybe less. Lisa pulled up holographic data. But I found something else. Their biology. They're apex predators from a death world, but it's a highly ordered ecosystem. Predator and prey relationships follow strict hierarchical rules. They've never encountered something like us. Like us? Lisa smiled grimly. Persistence predators with pack bonding, instincts, and absolutely no sense of self-preservation. When protecting our own. The plan came together. In 90 minutes, when the Zalthor strike force descended on the research facility outside Johannesburg. They expected terrified scientists. Instead, they found a single building with lights on and 1 life sign inside. Zexikal led the entry team personally. Inside, they found Lisa sitting calmly in a laboratory, a small human child in her arms. The girl couldn't have been more than 5 years old, clutching a worn stuffed animal. Where are the others? Zexikal demanded. Gone, Lisa said softly. Evacuated. Except her. She nodded to the child. This is Emma, she wanted to meet you. Zexikal's mandibles clicked with irritation. Using a child as a shield was beneath even these primitives' expected tactics. You think this infant will sway us? No, Lisa replied. But I think you should know what you're dealing with before you make your final mistake. She whispered something to Emma. The child looked up at the towering alien warriors and spoke a single word, her voice small but clear. Help. Nothing happened for 3 seconds. Then the walls exploded. Max came through first, moving with the lethal efficiency of 20 years in force reconnaissance. But he wasn't alone. The evacuation had been a muster. Every soldier, police officer, and armed citizen within 100 kilometers had formed a perimeter. But that wasn't what made Zexikal's neural network freeze with something his species had forgotten. Primal fear. Behind the humans came everything else. The facility had been built on the edges of Kruger National Park. Lisa had spent the last hours broadcasting specific frequencies, distress, calls she'd synthesized from Earth species, not a call for help. A call to protect. A honey badger hit the first Zalthor warrior like a furry missile. The creature weighed perhaps 30 pounds, but it fought with the frenzied intensity of something that had evolved surviving lions, leopards, and venomous snakes. It didn't retreat. It didn't hesitate. It just attacked. Then came the elephants, matriarchs who'd heard what their ancestral memory interpreted as a calf in danger. Rhinos charged through pre-weakened walls. A coalition of lions stalked through the chaos, instinct overriding centuries of learned caution around humans. The Zalthor had energy weapons that could level buildings, but they'd never faced an enemy that didn't care. That would charge a weapon capable of vaporizing them to protect a pack member. That would sacrifice themselves without hesitation. Max pulled Lisa and Emma behind a reinforced barrier as the chaos unfolded. This is insane, he shouted over the cacophony. No, Lisa said, watching a honey badger scale a 7-foot Zalthor warrior without fear. This is Earth. This is what happens when you threaten a child on a planet where everything evolved learning to protect the pack. Zexikal fought his way toward his ship, his perfect tactical mind fragmenting. This wasn't battle, it was pandemonium. His warriors, trained to fight organized resistance, Couldn't process enemies that used no strategy except attack until threat eliminated. He managed to reach the communication array, broadcasting to the fleet above. Abort colonization. Mark planet hostile. Classification Death World, Category Omega. His second-in-command's response came through, "What are the defenses?" Zexakel watched through his ship's viewport as a honey badger chased his warriors across the tarmac, utterly heedless of its size disadvantage. "Everything," he transmitted. "The entire planet weaponizes. They've bonded their apex predators into allies. Evolution made them pack hunters. Desperation made them pack leaders. Recommend permanent quarantine." As the Zalthor fleet jumped to FTL, leaving their advance force behind, Lisa held Emma close. Max stood beside them, bloodied but alive, watching Earth's unlikely defenders gradually disperse. "Think they'll be back?" Max asked. Lisa looked down at Emma, who was petting a honey badger that had somehow decided she was worth protecting. "No," she said quietly. "They just learned what the rest of the galaxy will eventually figure out. Humanity doesn't fight alone. We never have, and anything stupid enough to threaten our children gets to meet everything we've befriended along the way." The honey badger chittered, curled up at Emma's feet. Humanity had sent its message to the stars. "We are pack-bonding persistence predators from a death world, and we will weaponize our compassion itself if you threaten what we love. The galaxy would learn to leave Earth alone."